Welcome to Survivor NSFW and our special coverage of the amazing race.
I didn't
I'm
hear the
joined
music.
Yeah, the music didn't play. I don't know why, but we are still live.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was
So
prepared to dance.
I was ready to dance to some sweet Spanish guitar. It said playing, and then I realized it was not playing, and we were still rolling. So I thought I'd just get us kicked off.
Okay, so I wasn't supposed to mention it.
Yeah, ideally, I thought we'd just roll with the punches on that, but yeah.
Okay. But I don't think you understand how excited I was to dance.
All right, you know what? Let's try some music again. Here we go. There it is. Technology cooperated. I knew it would. That's way better than a Colombian taxi driver. Very reliable. 1 out of 2 times.
Yes.
Oh man, Jonny Fairplay, how are you doing?
Good. I'm glad the plug was in, or the charger was available for the music. That's very important. Oh man. Episode 2 of The Amazing Race. Season 32? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Man, going forever. I remember I was at a party for maybe like season 4 at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, and it was like sponsored by like all these like big time sponsors. It was like this huge deal. And fast forward to season 32 and 2020 as we know it, and it's Zuma Mania, baby.
It is a time we need some vicarious travel, and I was so excited again to be watching The Amazing Race live. Amazing Race is a show that airs so infrequently. I feel like I'm always watching it on time shift. I'm loving that we're covering it and I'm watching it live, and it's something to look forward to. So this episode didn't disappoint.
And did you know that people that have like you know how they have the warnings like for stuff is like, you know, like if strobe lights bother you and stuff like that, you know, don't ride this ride or watch this film or whatever.
Okay.
That people have difficulty with The Amazing Race.
Why? Who? What kind of people?
People that suffer from those same things with the strip. Like it's so fast cutting.
I can understand that because taking notes while Amazing Race is going on to discuss on a podcast is very, very stressful.
It's tough. I tried to get Piper to watch with me last week, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm that's a hard pass, Dad." And so I was like episode 2, I was really regretting not forcing my 12-year-old to watch this show with me. Because I don't know their name. Like there's just so many people I don't know their names. I mean, like, you know, it's the hot blonde girls, the hot brunette girls, Hung and Chi.
Yes. Yeah, you can't forget them.
Yeah, D'Angelo and the other guy.
Gary.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I think, yeah.
Okay. The Beards.
Yeah, they're bearded Hawaiian guys in my book.
Yeah, so Fake Gabby. I do have a spoiler on Fake Gabby.
She's not Gabby.
Well, then I take that back. I have 2 spoilers on Fake Gabby.
Okay.
One you just spoiled. So she is not Gabby from Survivor. Though I did post that picture and tagged her across all social media, which I'm Gabby, who doesn't really like me to begin with, will not appreciate that in any way. No. What is it? Leo and Alana?
Yeah.
There, I did pretty good. And Leo and Alana, I was anxiously looking forward to their breakup and, you know, end of relationship courtesy of The Amazing Race. And I was not spoiled on the outcome of The Amazing Race, fortunately. But I was spoiled in the fact that they are indeed married, according to social media.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I love it. Go, Leo and Alana.
So that could be a spoiler because I'm imagining the only way they're still together is if they won.
No, I'm sure they do okay, and they're together. No spoilers here.
Really? You think they could make it? through.
Yeah, I mean, as you've pointed out, they're kind of derpy. They're maybe a slightly derpier version of my wife and myself. And I think that if we went out like, as long as it's not in a huge, massive fight, I think it's fine. Even if we got in like 7th place, we'd be cool with it.
All right. I appreciate your glass half full approach to life, Zach.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. I on the other hand, failed marriage. Oh, kids in broken homes. She's 2020. Jesus.
Hey, I'm so glad Leo and Alana are together, so they've spent 2020 together. Otherwise, that would have been a rough year. Like, you did the Amazing Race, then you've got this to look forward to.
Oh,
Yikes.
man. See, that makes me more upset that they're actually together at this point.
Yeah.
Half glass empty, Jonny Fairplay.
You prefer it that way, apparently. Oh my.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? I actually it's less than half. I filled up my glass with water. I was parched before the podcast, and I drank 2/3 this. So glass 1/3 full.
Oh. We're downgrading.
Sorry, glass 2/3 empty. There we go. No one said there would be math.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, there's some tasks that have math though. So
yeah, well, and we know how they're divided up amongst some of the teams. So we will get there. So we're all en route this episode to Bogota, Colombia.
Bogota.
Bogota. Okay.
Yeah, one of my good friends, Andy, is from Bogota. So
okay,
so this was cool to see.
I had never heard of Bogota or Bogota or Bogota. Bogota, Colombia. I'm very excited for this. There's not enough Bogota references for me. Zach. I don't know about you.
Never. No.
Okay. But yeah, Bogota. Do you believe it was named after Bogota?
I don't. I think it might predate the situation. Yeah. I think it might be older, but that's just my guess.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to hold you to it if you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So all en route. They are all on the same flight. A problem I have with the Amazing Race and have throughout the years is there's so many resets in which everyone's clumped back together. And I understand in theory, it makes for a good show.
Yeah.
However, we just finished covering World's Toughest Race, in which there are not these massive resets like this. And guess what? It made for a really entertaining show. It did not matter.
Yeah, there's definitely pluses and minuses in my book. Like, one of the reasons taking notes, as I was saying, for this episode is so difficult is because there's so many different storylines all taking place at the exact same time. Whereas a show like World's Toughest Race is able to really delineate where, like, okay, episodes 1 through 4 are pretty much Team New Zealand centric. Then we've got, I don't know, Team Bend Racing is the next few, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, with Amazing Race, they do have these resets, but at the same time, Hung and Chi are the first people off. They're the first people off the flight, and they're immediately back in first place again, followed by the same teams that were at the top of the pack last time. So I don't know. I feel like the cream will rise to the top no matter how many resets there are.
Yeah. So, but all on the same flight, and their first task is to make their way to the Nemacon, perhaps salt mine.
Yeah. Sure.
And so this is a big twist in the game in which everyone is on a journey into the salt mine for either a 10-minute or 20-minute yield. And they 20-minute or 10-minute or 20-minute yield hourglass, and you're not allowed to sign up for the morning takeoff of either 6 a.m. or 6:30 until you retrieve an hourglass. And so these hourglasses are required. You're not required to play them, but you were required to at least grab one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering why. All right, so we saw I think it was D'Angelo and Gary, they passed on a 10-minute hourglass that they saw early and then kept going for a 20. Could they have potentially grabbed that 10 and then put it in place of the 20 that they replaced it with?
That is a really good strategy. I wonder if it's first one you touch, you're stuck with. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would certainly make more sense. Grab a 10 and be ready to go at any point necessary as more teams show up. I did think the first teams to arrive were at a clear disadvantage in this, in that you just had to take whatever and be ready to go. And then the later teams get the 20-minute yield rather than the 10-minute yield, because who cares if you're already on the last flight? Keep searching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it appeared as though more of the 10 minutes were closer to the sign-up sheet. So grab the 10, carry it with you to the 20, and so at least they have to travel further to find that, even find the 10.
I'll just take the 10s and chuck them down the road.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that strategy. If you're allowed to do that, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I'm guessing that you're right in that, you touch it, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of along the philosophy of you break it, you buy it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they were like really, really hidden, right? They were like tucked around corners and stuff, but they weren't buried or anything. So you weren't going to get confused as to what you were grabbing.
Yeah. So I don't know. But so you either had a 6 a.m. departure the next morning or a 6:30 a.m. departure. And pretty much the teams that got there first got the 6 a.m. departure, and a lot of them, for the most part, got the 20-minute. Well, it was probably half and half.
Yeah. Some of the teams just said, "Who cares?" I think the teams who said "Who cares" weren't going to use the yield anyways. So that was pretty much a decision that was made. Is we're all in this together, and. So I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see. But what I found interesting here is they were all kind of forced to sleep in the salt mine together.
Yeah, what do you think those conversations were like at bed?
I think it was a lot of "shut up, I'm trying to sleep." Mm-hmm. Followed by, "Hey, if I actually have money and people recognize me from being in the NFL or being an Olympian and they'll let me sleep on a fucking bed, can I go somewhere else and sleep on a fucking bed?"
Yeah.
So, I mean,
See, my first thought was like, fuck yeah, this is a kumbaya moment. I'd want to be up having a beer with everybody talking. Like, this is sweet. We're sleeping in a salt mine in Colombia. Who would have thought? And Maria, my wife next to me, was like, "You're an idiot. They would all hate you. And they all just want to get sleep."
Okay, so my philosophy was right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Maria's more impulse with the with the cast and crew. So I like your, once again, glass half full, but I don't think, I mean, because it seemed like even when everyone's in sleeping bags and like one person's like walking around like trying to figure out like how to sleep in their sleeping bag, they kind of got, from the brief glimpse was, get in your fucking sleeping bag. Like, I don't need someone standing fucking over me when I'm zipped up in a sleeping bag. Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a safety issue.
Yeah. Well, also, like, if you're zipped up in a sleeping bag, like pretty well, like say I stumbled upon you zipped up, to the brim, to the top of your sleeping bag, like, I would be inclined to pee on your sleeping bag.
Hey, especially if you've done my philosophy, which is have a few beers with your competitors. So yeah.
Well, no, I would piss on your sleeping bag because, like, it's very difficult to get out of a fully zipped sleeping bag. Like so like I'm getting you.
Oh, Jesus. Well, if I ever go on The Amazing Race, I hope you're my partner so I don't get pissed on.
There's no guarantees I wouldn't pee on you if you were my partner. You might be first.
It's at least a good TV moment. Fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's not the first thing you think of when you see someone in a sleeping bag. I could pee on them. They can't get away.
It is not. No.
Yeah, well,
I'm usually thinking it's probably way too warm in there. I hate sleeping bags.
Well, it'd be really warm with pee.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, now the next time you see someone in a sleeping bag, the first thought that enters your brain is, oh man, I could so easily pee on them. They have no clue.
Yep. Survivor NSFW podcast, making everyone a worse person one episode at a time.
There we go. We're here for you. Try our Patreon. We have even worse ideas. All right. So so the next morning they take off to either retrieve a golden raft or an emerald. And this is tough to admit, Zach. I'm pretty smart, but there's just some things I don't know about because I've never cared to know about them.
Sure.
So I kind of assume that emeralds just kind of look like they just came like shiny emeralds.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Those were some, I mean, as we saw from the amazing people accepting these were not like real, honest to goodness, valuable artifacts they were transporting.
Yeah.
Those were hunking emeralds, man. That would have to be worth an incredible sum of money if that was a solid emerald that just needed cleaned and polished and refined.
Yeah, but I think that the fake emerald that they had would looked a lot like what a real raw emerald looks like. And I've never imagined a raw, I just envisioned at all times of my entire life an emerald being shiny and great. And
how do you think they get them?
They just appear like that.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of imagine emeralds like on a video game when you pick up jewels.
Yes. So they're just lying on a cave floor.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when you pick up a jewel on a video game, it's not like a unrefined rock, and it's just like, oh, well, let me work on this for a while so it looks so. No, so I just envision that's it's just like, ooh, this is like in the wild.
Yeah.
In the wild of Colombia, there's just perfect emeralds. It's like, this is a good one. This would make a great ring. Ooh, these would make great earrings.
Yeah. Yeah. And they said video games were bad for us. Who were they?
Yeah. I felt slightly more dumb for thinking that, but then afterwards I'm like, course corrected. And no one would be the wiser if it wasn't for this podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
So you had the choice between the golden raft or the emerald. What would you have chosen?
I feel like I would have rather grabbed the pre-Columbian art, the little raft thing they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because I feel like whenever they have a task like find someone in a square on The Amazing Race, it's a little difficult versus you had an actual address for the professor you were delivering something to.
Yeah.
That seemed a little more ideal. But then the professor fucked with them and was like,
fake!
This is fake.
Fake!
They had a momentary freak out. I do not like that. So yeah, in hindsight, I would have rather had the emerald.
Yeah, no, I love the old white beard. Fake.
Yeah, was that not Professor Tim? Was that?
That was not Professor Tim.
Man,
Professor Tim is he's always happy. Professor Tim is never, and that guy seemed not happy.
Agreed. I thought someone peed on his sleeping bag or something.
It was not me yet. I would love to find the old man with the white beard and a sleeping bag. Oh my God. Hey, 2021.
Yeah. As soon as we can travel, Bogota, watch out.
Yeah. Dude, let's find that dude and fucking pee on his sleeping bag.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go to Trinidad and Tobago, learn some steel drums, go to that party, and then find that dude and pee on him.
Man, 2021 cannot get here soon enough. $18 flight. This is gonna be great. right, so we see the first 5 teams on the 6 a.m. departure time all agree to work together.
Yeah. I don't know about this. On the one hand, yeah, there's definitely a strategy to just like be quiet and stay safe early on. But at the same time, they're giving out prizes. So you could try to get those. I don't know. What do you think, Jonny? Do you go hard here and not work with the other early teams?
I'm a very aggressive player. However, leg 2 of the Amazing Race, I probably play nice to appear to play nice.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that gets paid forward later when I'm not playing nice and they don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I feel like the dominant strategy here is to stay with the large group because you also don't want 4 of the 5 teams to all work together and you be the odd man out. So yeah, wait till you have to cut somebody.
So no, I think, like even if you don't even like the other 4, it's just the perception that you were with them at this one time could benefit you down the road when you have no desire to work with them and you're not, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I am, as I said, like this is I feel the Amazing Race is a little less strategy based than Survivor, where I'm kind of guns blazing out of the chute versus this. But that's for me to say that is pretty radical in my approach to gameplay.
Yeah, but I think your earlier thought on all the resets that they have in the Amazing Race is a good reason for that. Like there could very easily come a time where you cannot control your own position in the power in the totem pole, and you really need that collaboration. So
yeah. They work together. We once again the finding the emerald cluster inspectors in the square a little tough. They were not overly obvious as to who they were, and they never are.
right.
I think the Trinidad they got pretty lucky there at that festival. That guy, I kind of felt like he wanted to be on camera.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So versus these guys really didn't care. They're just like, hey, we'll pay you $200 to stand here in a circle. And if someone comes up and they're just like, yeah, we're just going to stand here in a circle. And
go figure, the raving party dude is a little more camera friendly than the mineral refiner.
Yeah. So lesson learned. All right. So at this point, taxis are a huge integral part of of the show as it is every time. We've seen over the years, you have the taxi that has to stop for gas. That would be my first. Like, I have seen enough Amazing Race, and I've not seen that much Amazing Race. I feel like I probably have more than I admit or even believe that I have. But with the amount of the Amazing Race that I have seen, every single taxi that I get, I'm asking and looking at the fuel gauge.
Yeah.
So, because that's so clutch. There's so many times where, they're just like, okay, I go. And it's like, where are you going? Oh, I have to get gas. And it's 2 exits down from where we even begin.
Yeah. And not only check the gas gauge, but like if they say they know where you're going, ask them like, okay, how are you getting there? Like, do the California thing. Like, oh, how are you going to get there? What route are you taking? Because that could pay dividends.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you'll find out if they don't actually know where they're going.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. So, or if they have their fucking charger for their phone when they don't know where they're going.
Like, oh, sir, your phone's at 5%. Where's your charger? I gave it to another guy. What was his phone at? Like 2%?
Yeah, right. Who gives their phone to another guy? A taxi driver.
No, you need that for work, man.
Yeah.
And
who only has one cord in 2020?
I don't know what it's like to be a Bogota, Colombian taxi cab driver, but Yeah, man. I've got at least a couple backups around.
Right?
Yeah.
Like my glove box has got to have 3 fucking lightning cables.
Yeah, and my car came with wireless. So like there's like a million possible ways out of this conundrum in 2020. But I understand that's also a privileged perspective from like having a nice car and lots of technology surrounding me at all times. So I don't know. But my other thought is, are they much like their yield things? Once they commit to one, are they stuck with it? Or can they like jump out of the cab and be like, this dude sucks, next cab, let's go?
You're not committed to the cab. The only problem is what you don't really see, and I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure this is explained to me from a racer. When you get a cab, like there has to be, for every cab, there has to be 2 cabs.
Right. Okay.
So it's a cab for you and a cab with the camera crew that follows you.
Okay.
So
so if you jump out, you could potentially be waiting a bit for multiple cabs to show up.
Well, you only have to replace the one.
Oh yeah, because the follower is fine.
Potentially.
If you got 2 cabs that both need gas and have no charger, that's rough.
Yeah. So, man, that's a lot of fucking extra work. So not only do you have to ask the guy, hey, do you have gas? Are you sure? You have to go to the camera crew's cab and say, hey, you too, do you have gas? And
yeah, dude, I'd be fit to be tied though with production if I'm like, no, we have to stop your cab because the production car is getting gas.
Yeah. I don't know. As I said, I'm not positive on that, but I feel like that something like that was mentioned.
And it makes sense because there's a lot of outside of car shots of the taxis. So it does make sense.
Yep. So yeah. You know what? I have a great story about giving rides in the Amazing Race. And I think the perfect place for that story is right after this commercial break. 2020 has been the year of things happening that are completely out of your control. But there is one thing that you can control, and that's shaving your bush. Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to remind you to do so. Well, see, my big thing with shaving my balls is, people are like, Jonny Fairplay, how do you get laid? How do you get some action down there? And we're talking, there's 3 major things that can happen to down there. I don't know how to make that happen for you, but I do know what will help make that happen, and that's shaving your balls and cleaning up your butthole.
And what'll help is the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. It's a premium electric trimmer that's designed to give you a confident boost through body image. Their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology are designed to reduce nicks or tugs on your fellas down there. The Lawnmower 3.0 is also waterproof, and it comes with an LED light so you can manscape in the shower, in the dark, in a dark shower if you want, whatever floats your boat. They also just released their Shears 2.0 nail kit, which is a perfect add-on to the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. Jonny, can you tell us about Shears 2.0?
Man, it is a luxury 4-piece nail kit. Just used it earlier today. And shaved my balls earlier today. Quite the day for me. I might take a nap now. It features tempered stainless steel tools, and it includes tipped tweezers, rounded point scissors, fingernail clippers, and a medium grit nail file. Now, real quick on these fingernail clippers, they might be the most cutting edge, amazing nail clippers I've ever used in my entire life. The Shears 2.0 nail kit also allows you to pluck your eyebrows and trim your nails in style. On their website, you'll also find the Crop Preserver, and that's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. This will help tame that summer swamp ass with natural hydrators and antioxidants.
You'll also find a Crop Reviver. That's a testy toner that's like having cologne that's designed for your balls. We won't judge you if we catch you sniffing yourself. Go to manscaped.com and check out some of these life-changing products.
If I could sniff myself like that, I wouldn't be shaving my balls. I wouldn't need to.
Take a rib out.
There you have it. Get the Manscaped Rib Remover Kit. It's go to manscaped.com and check out these life-changing products. In fact, listeners of the show will get 20% off and free shipping with promo code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code SURVIVOR. It's time to grab 2020 by the horns by shaving that front trunk.
And Jonny Fairplay, we are back. What is your story?
Oh, I don't really have a story. I had to go shave my balls and go to manscaped.com, use promo code SURVIVOR and shave your balls just like I did. So, no, I do have a story. So
it's that quick and easy.
Well, I have no power. Like they're doing renovations right now, and they told me, they're like, we turned off the power in this part of the living room. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No big deal. Didn't think twice about it. That power goes to the other side of my game room, so I have no TV now anywhere except in my bedroom. Also affects all the DVR boxes that my DirecTV is associated with. So I had I tried to watch Big Brother like 15 minutes in, and it's like, nope, you have, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm on the CBS app watching that in my bedroom. There's no light in the kitchen. And so I'm stumbling around in the dark and oh my God, it was great. So
yeah, for anyone listening to this, Jonny Fairplay looks like he's broadcasting from a Colombian mine shaft. So.
I am. And but with the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, there's a light to shave your balls.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There you go. Full circle.
Boom.
So, several years ago is probably like 5 years ago now. Thunder D, who did the Dead Grandma Lie with me on Survivor, he worked in downtown Portland, Oregon. Excuse me. And so he had gone to lunch or something from work, and he sees the yellow and black Amazing Race podium for them to get their next clue to go to wherever.
Yeah, right on.
And so he sees it and he's like, holy shit. And so he was like, I'm gonna fuck up someone's Amazing Race. That's like, it's not like, oh, how cool is this? This is, like, oh man, I'm gonna high five. No.
Yeah. Oh, I see why this guy was your friend. Yeah.
He goes, I'm gonna wait this out and fuck up someone's Amazing Race. So basically his plan was the first team to show up. He was just gonna be like, hey, Amazing Race, did you guys watch Survivor? And more than likely, yes. He's like, I'm Thunder D, the guy that did the Dead Grandma Lie with Jonny Fairplay. And they're like, holy shit. He goes, dude, I love the Amazing Race too. I'm gonna help you. Where do you need to go? And then he was just gonna take them into the middle of nowhere and just fucking leave them.
And it never happened.
Whoops, I lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry. What ended up happening?
He waited for like an hour and a half. He was actually 30 minutes late going back to lunch, and no one ever showed up.
Oh, man.
So they set those things up way ahead of time.
It's surprising they don't get messed with more if they're there for that long.
Yeah. So, but that was his plan to just take them in the middle of nowhere and be like, it's right over there. They're like, he goes, dude, I'm from Portland. They're like, cool. And then just fucking give him the finger and drive off.
Yeah, I really wish that had happened. I mean, not to any of the amazing people who've been on the Amazing Race, but just to someone.
Right? Oh, it would have been so good.
Oh, that's so good.
I could think of 4 teams I would like to see it too on this season.
Oh, no. I think everyone seems nice.
Great.
Oh man, that's the one thing I love about Amazing Race is like everyone seems pretty decent. Like everyone wants to go see the world. They have at least one person who loves them. It's great. It's the exact opposite of Big Brother where they have no one who loves them and they're terrible.
Oh, well, there is that. So, I don't know. I'm friends with Hung on Facebook.
I saw that. I hope that she didn't listen to the podcast.
Really? I don't think
I'm just kidding. You were nice, but you made fun of her name for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
I have a fake last name. She can make fun of mine. I mean, hers is her. She, her parents gave her that. I didn't. Like I gave myself this.
That is true.
Yeah. So she can make fun. It's tit for tat.
Yeah.
wonder if
We're equal opportunity trollers here.
Yeah. I wonder if Hung will talk tits.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, they get to the first roadblock, which is clowning around, and they have to do a tightrope walk holding some drinks.
Well, first they have to choose whether they want to yield.
Correct.
And everyone chooses not to yield.
Yeah. I guess this had to make the edit.
Well, because it came down to whether the blondes were or not.
Yes. And well, we'll get to that, but I mean,
I think that's why it had to make the edit. And they had to establish that for newer viewers that everyone has to declare whether before they grab their clue whether they're going to use the yield or not. I think it was more of an establishing shot than anything.
Oh, okay, like setting up the yields, the U-turns. Cool. Yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah. So, but for an experienced Amazing Race watcher, you're just like that. So unnecessary for them for the first two teams to say that with that are smoking everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jonny Fairplay, you are famously a hater of heights.
Yes.
How would you do on the tightrope?
The Wheel of Death did not look like fun either.
No, it didn't. I would hate that way more.
So no, I did a show called what was it? The Life Coach. It was a pilot for VH1. And it was me, Trishelle, Jonathan Baker, I want to say Stacey J from The Apprentice, Richard Hatch. Or no, Richard Hatch wasn't there yet. It was some fucked up reality TV person, like not like massively fucked up reality TV personalities, just slight flaws.
So were y'all getting life coached, or were you and Trishelle about to provide life coaching to someone?
No, we were getting life coached.
Okay.
And one of the activity, and this was just the pilot, but it was like a week-long deal of filming. We had to do all kinds of shit. But like one of the things was we had to do trapeze. And me and Trishelle get there, and we're just like, fuck this. We're not doing this. They're like, it'll be fun. It'll blah, blah, blah. And we're just like, no, we'd rather go get fucked up. And they're like, well, everyone else is doing it. And it's like, great. They'll tell us all about it, and we'll be hammered when they tell us.
They were secretly like, we justified the premise of the show. They need a bit of life coaching.
Yeah, I don't know. So like later in the filming, they did a deal. Like Jonathan Baker from The Amazing Race, him and Victoria, like they were famous because like he screamed at his wife. So they did a deal where they had Jonathan like walk into this room, and this guy with like 4 pit bulls is like chasing Jonathan and having them bark at him and like attack him. And the guy is screaming, goes, "This is what you do to your wife."
Oh my God.
And so like Jonathan Baker, like, is just like, I'm calling my attorney. Like it was crazy. So like we were on like a 3-day hiatus from filming. And then finally we reconvened filming, and Richard Hatch was our life coach.
Okay.
And that was it. We never filmed another minute. Like basically, like we had filmed for a week, and then that went down, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to reconvene." And then we came back for this lunch, and then Richard Hatch is introduced as our new life coach. And I'm just sitting there, like me and Trishelle are just like, this is never seeing 1 second of airtime.
No. What was his advice to you?
What's that?
What was his coach advice to you?
We didn't make it that far. Because each week was kind of like we were focusing on everyone as a group, but like
Okay.
each week was dedicated to a person, and week 1 was Jonathan Baker.
Okay.
So I didn't get to my, as I said, never saw light day. But so bringing us back to where we were, so doing the trapeze thing was a fucking never. So seeing the tightrope, I was reminded of that. I'm just like, nope, never, could not do that. So, and that was really cool. The one of the teams told the other tightrope as they were exiting, kind of gave them the heads up, which is huge on that leg. Or what did we decide?
This was a roadblock, but we're just calling them tasks when we can't remember.
Yeah, this task. This would have been a really tough. You know what? At the same time, no one fell.
Yeah.
So it appeared as though they had them on a really tight suspension thing.
It looked pretty easy. The only person we really saw struggling was Alana, and she dropped the bottle. It looked like a couple times.
Yeah.
But it seemed like everybody else was flying through it.
The second time she dropped it, it was basically on the handoff.
Yeah.
At the very end. So I don't even count that as a real drop. So the first one, I think she was just getting acclimated. And so the only tough part I really saw was you're holding your suspension harness or whatever with your right hand if you're right-handed, and then you're carrying the other stuff with your left hand. So if you're not left-handed, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, like, I ain't letting go of the fucking rope I need to hold on to from the hand that I need to hold on with the most.
No, definitely not. I mean, the thing I loved about this most was that they had to go through the rest of this leg wearing the face paint and the clown makeup.
Well, that was the name of the episode, right?
Yeah, that was golden.
Yeah, I don't like red lipstick, or I don't do red lipstick or something.
Yeah. When they first showed up there, I was really worried because they were showing the I don't know what you call them, the performers, the Cirque du Soleil performers with the thing attached to their hair. And I was really worried about D'Angela's dreads because I was thinking of our good buddy Matt Bischoff, who recently lost a piece of a dread from stepping on it. And I was worried D'Angelo was going to lose some hair. Yeah. But he made it.
That. And I had a feeling he was going to smoke that too, because I mean, think about what he does in the NFL.
Sure.
I mean, it's all about balance and holding, and it's not like he was known for the most fumbles of any running back in the history of the NFL. He like if that were the case, and he's like, no. So, and Gary's like, there's no way he can do it. Fucking fumble machine.
He's good at everything except holding on to stuff. This is terrible.
Not sure why he chose running back as his profession in life. But yeah. So we see everyone doing no one nothing really insane there. As we kind of see, slow and steady wins the race throughout this. But the next task en route to the finish line is Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
The Colombian edition.
Bogata edition.
Yes.
Yeah. So they've got these big trucks, and this is one of those comps where they have to make it look exactly like the model. And Phil tells us straight away it's going to be all about the front horns. And I loved the dramatic irony that he set up, where I'm waiting for the horns to be an issue for someone. But again, the front teams, they just straight away, no worries. You know, they got the horns done right away. That was not the issue. Yeah.
And not so much. But our middle of the pack teams, the models, right there in the thick of things for the longest time, but cannot figure out the horn. But why can they not figure that out? Because the clue is in their fanny pack. Now, I know you may be sitting there as a viewer going, well, why didn't they just open the fanny pack? And Zach, I'm sure you're asking yourself the same question.
That was my next question to you.
Yeah, almost impossible, Zach. They're like, look, fanny pack, zipper. I mean, does it go this? Does it? Do you zip with the zipper, like, or do you go against it to the? See, it is nearly a fanny pack is essentially a Rubik's cube.
Of course. When you're trying to solve one puzzle, why throw another one into the mix?
Yeah. So anyone that's screaming at the television, why won't they just read the fucking clue? I think we'll explain it it's in the bag. I'm not reopen the bag. Look, it's zipped. You cannot unzip it easily. I mean, that's
not how zippers work, man. You got to figure it out first.
Yeah, it's not Velcro. It's a zipper. You have to. Yeah. So yeah.
It's Amazing Race rule number 1, man. As soon as you're stuck, check the damn clue again. Whatever you're missing is in the clue.
And this wasn't like two people that were stunt cast, have you ever seen The Amazing Race? Yeah, it's on like what, ABC? It's the one with Johnny Bananas. You have seen it.
Yeah.
No, these are two people that apparently have seen every episode of The Amazing Race. One guy that's auditioned with every single person that he found in the first half of the phone book.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yes. Like, how is that I'm like, oh, open your fucking bag, dude. Like it's like, if you're just like, nope, I read the clue, I fucking chewed it up and swallowed it. I did. Like, it's just like, all right, makes it. No, it's just like, I put it in the bag. Great. Well, you know what? Undo the fucking bag and put that shit on eBay later. Like, we need that shit right now for the fucking clue.
Yeah, it would be fascinating to me to see the timeline on this stuff. Like, how long were they there? How long were they working on this? How many times did they ask the guy to come check again before they actually consulted the information that they had on hand?
How great was the no guy? I mean, possibly the best guy I've ever seen in the history of The Amazing Race, not letting them know that they didn't get it ever.
Yeah.
Because some of them are like pretty obvious, like where their line of sight is.
Yes, telling them exactly what they need to fix.
Yeah. He was not that guy.
No.
Like, no fucking hint whatsoever looking at that fucking front bumper corner.
Yeah.
So like he makes it like purposely walked past so like you wouldn't even think to look there, and then the no with the finger.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that might make you think to look there, in case you were like, you know what, I don't even know how to read. I don't know where the clue went. I don't know how to read, whatever the fuck's going on. Every time someone succeeded, what did they do to celebrate? They hit the horn.
Yes, that
would be a clue that the horn is important. Maybe
that's why I didn't. Yeah, like I'm just like that's where your timeline might be a little more effective in that how many people had the horn go off near them.
Yeah. Like who was there at the same time and saw like 5 teams in a row get it with the horn hit, and they're just sitting there, man, what are we doing wrong here? I don't get it.
Yeah. So I don't know how many. I think there was at least a couple, but like as I said, once you're in they might have been staggered, and as I said, there's just this tunnel vision that you have. So
I get it. I'm sure I do terrible, but as a viewer, it was like, come on, they're literally blasting you in the ears with the solution.
Yes. So, but we do see as Fake Gabby and Leo are successful in figuring out the horn, telling the blonde girls, hey, it's the horn is the gimmick.
Yeah, their names are, I think, Kaylin and Haley.
Well, one of them is not accepted my friend request on Facebook. So until then, I really feel like I should just refer to her as one of the blonde girls.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that not helping my cause?
it's not helping your cause, and it's not helping me keep it straight in my head as we're talking about it.
Oh, sweet. Well, my notes were much more thorough last week when I was sitting on a couch taking them as opposed to laying in my bed
In the dark. Yeah.
in the dark. So yes. So we do see an alliance there that and they're they basically explained it in that they're nice and we like them, so we decided to help them. So, but by doing so, they weren't quiet about it. Like they didn't whisper. Apparently, fake Gabby likes to yell when she secretly tells secrets.
Yeah. Because everyone heard it. Jerry and Frank heard it. Kelly and Levon heard it. And everybody starts working on that horn.
Yes. So next they make their way to the middle of the park where Phil is playing kickball with a young soccer lad. And
hey, how did you like D'Angelo showing him up on the backflip situation, man?
Loved it.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Well, that's he's got moves.
Yeah, it was awesome. No, I was thinking of that when you were saying how athletic he was when he showed up in the ring.
Yeah.
And then he sees this guy stunting in front of him with the soccer ball, and he's like, no, I can do that too.
Do that.
Yeah. I love it.
That was a weird visual though of Phil with the I did like D'Angelo making fun of him, just like, why you got a coat on, man?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a fun little rivalry there with Phil and D'Angelo.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like everyone with Jonathan on Australian Survivor.
Phil has a very Jonathan LaPaglia vibe about him. Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. So yep.
Yeah, they also won. I forgot to mention Hung and Chi won a trip to Switzerland. Their second win in a row.
Courtesy of Travelocity and
of course
Travelocity Gnome.
Yeah. That gnome is a spender, man.
Yeah.
That was good. Congrats to Hung and Chi, second win in a row. Do you see them carrying the streak on, or do you think they're gonna flame out?
No, I think they're the odds-on favorites to win. I mean, I think I think I think that their friends, their lovers, their parents, they know, what they know how to motivate the other. They just seem smart and focused. They're bringing all the intangibles together that you need to win the Amazing Race. So the only thing they're really missing is the brute strength.
That's what I was thinking.
However, the Amazing Race kind of has its way of evening things out to make it, so that anyone can win the Amazing Race. There might be a task or two that will be more suited for the NFL players, perhaps. But I think there's just as many, if not immensely more, that are going to be more so in Hung and Chi's wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah. And while they may not have the huge muscles and massive brute strength, they both seem athletic and strong. So I don't the ground that can be made up by D'Angelo and Gary, I think is insignificant in comparison to the variety of tasks that Hung and Chi are pretty balanced in.
Yeah. And the fact that they finished first 2 times in a row, I don't think is happenstance. There's something there.
Yeah, agreed. And they won a trip to Switzerland, which I was reminded this time last year, I was in Switzerland hanging out, and I miss it very much. And I miss traveling. And I got waylaid in Switzerland, actually. I was trying to go to Madrid, and the closest they could get me from New York City to Madrid was Zurich, Switzerland. So I just hung out there for a few days. And that, it just made me really happy to be watching the Amazing Race and traveling vicariously through these people, because that is one thing I have missed immensely in 2020. And it's cool.
Yeah. Sunshine Breeze chimes in. My winner picks Hung and Chi are doing great. I like Michelle and Victoria too for drama. You know, them two sisters will end up bickering down the road. Yes, they will.
Yeah, I think we were lacking in the Michelle and Victoria this week. I was waiting for them to bring their like light shit talking to this episode like they did last week. I loved it.
Yeah, they're fun. I like them. I like a lot of the cast.
Yeah.
So, but who I think the game was not really made for was our Olympians, and
Unfortunately.
thus they show up in last place. I just don't think this game was for them, and I don't know how big Amazing Race fans they were going into this.
No, I don't. They didn't really seem to have too much of a handle on what was going on. They seemed really likable as people, but
Yeah.
like even if they squeaked by this week, you felt like they were definitely going to be going next week versus, Jerry and Frank and Kellen and Haley. I think they could get themselves back in the middle of the pack in another situation. I just felt like Kelly and the Vaughn were going to get themselves into trouble every time.
Yeah. So as I said, the game is not for everyone, and as we heard, like the Will and James, had their difficulty, but taking a step back, they're just like, oh my god, biggest rookie move, always read the clue, like
Yeah.
they do that, and I never saw signs like that from the Olympians.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I did really want though? I was, Amazing Race always makes it out like it's going to be down to a foot race between the last two teams.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, if they overtake someone in a foot race because they're like Olympian hurdlers, this will rule.
Yeah.
And we didn't get it, but
yeah, I mean,
that would have been awesome.
The fact that we saw them walk to the like everyone walking to the finish line, I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is as close as it appears.
No. I mean, they outran the goats. They outran the racing goats. So
there you
incredible.
have it. All right, so 2 episodes down. I think this is a pretty good season. It's a fun space filler for Survivor in this fall Wednesday night lineup. I think it will hopefully gain in viewership going in 2 weeks from now when it finally arrives at its 8 p.m. Time slot that it's been eagerly eyeing for so long. And
it deserves. I mean, Amazing Race is a pretty incredible franchise, and it's been kicked around undeservedly. So I'm happy.
All right. So everybody, thank you for joining us yet again. Remember, a way to support the podcast is to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you podcast, and click that subscribe button for Survivor NSFW. We'd appreciate it. Rate us 5 stars if you love it. If you don't do any of those things, well, you can press subscribe, but don't rate or give 1 star, any of that. That does not help in any way. If you don't like it, just go watch or listen to something else, please. Subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/SurvivorNSFW. Get a t-shirt at johnnyfairplay.com, like this shirt, Danville Boys. Me and my friends like to go to wrestling, and we call ourselves the Danville Boys with 3 Z's. And you can get that shirt. It's very unique. There's like 22 Danvilles in America, so you possibly live in a Danville. So it will work for you and your friends as well. So we have also many other shirts at johnnyfairplay.com. Don't forget, with every t-shirt purchase, you get a phone call from me, Johnny Fairplay, thanking you for your purchase. That's JONNYFAIRPLAY. No H in Johnny, johnnyfairplay.com. But the best way to support the podcast, of course, is to become a patron. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. You get added to our secret Facebook group, and we have a weekly Q&A that we do just for our patrons. We do a monthly Zoom call. We have fantasy football going right now. It's a really awesome group, and tons and tons, hours and hours and hours and hours of content, video and audio already sitting there for you, including the Castaway Watch Along, watching Survivor Pearl Islands, Akira Mullen with myself and guests like Andrew Savage and Sandra Diaz Twine and Dara and Burton, and others. So check that out at adfreensfw.com. Give it a try. I think you'll love it. We have all different kinds of tiers where you can get autographed pictures and all kinds of other fun stuff. So with that, thank you, Zach.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny, and everybody. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, right after the episode for the trip to the Amazon, the double U-turn. And if you're watching Big Brother, don't miss us tomorrow with Chicken George following the episode.
Huge. Can't wait.
Huge. All right. Good night, everybody.